Hello and welcome to another edition of Overcoming Illness. I am your host, Paula Denoncourt. I'm a holistic health coach. I've been doing my business since 2010. I help people with their diet and lifestyle if they have food allergies, food sensitivities, or autoimmune issues, especially. I've been rolling out some great new recipes. So if you are looking for recipes, you suffer from food allergies, food sensitivities, please follow me on social media. I've been posting them. You can find me under my name, Paula Denoncourt, and it's on Facebook. I've been putting them on Instagram. So please follow me on social media. You'll be able to get the links and all of that right on social media. I am also looking for guests for the show. The reason I did Overcoming Illness is because people have illnesses out there that need their stories told. So through doing health coaching and all my clients, I've learned that these stories need to get out there. I've helped in the Lyme disease community, but I've learned other people need their stories out there as well, and other illnesses. So we've had guests with cancer, Lyme disease, autoimmune issues. I've had people in the deaf community, autism. So go watch some of the replays if you've never seen them. And they're on Elevation TV Network. You can get them on YouTube or even their Facebook page. So make sure you go over there and give them some love, a like, a subscribe. Please do that. So without further ado, I am looking for more guests for my show. Overcoming Illness. So if you're going through an illness, you've gone through an illness, you've maybe your spouse, a mom, your apostle, practitioner, we need you for the show. So it is once a month now. I am cutting back a little bit. It was once a week on Sunday nights, but we're going to do it once a month instead. On Sunday night, it's going to be the second Sunday of every month. So we're just cutting back a little bit, but we are not going away. So I am so excited to have my guest back tonight, Miss Kim Broadway. She's been on before, but we'll go backtrack a little bit. She'll tell you a little bit of her story in case you've never seen her. This is her third time on, but I am so excited to have her on. So let me introduce her. Kim LaShaw Broadway is a native of Marianna, Arkansas. She completed Lee Senior High School and went on to attend and complete a degree from the UAPB in Pine Bluff, Arkansas. Kim currently works with the Shelby County Public Schools as a full-time paraprofessional and is co-owner of a local boutique. She's also an inspiring author. She's got a lot going on. Some of Kim's goals and aspirations include working to organize a group of women to learn about investments and how to develop and build revenue to support community programs for women. And we were just talking about that before we came on, and that is so needed.
It is.
So needed. Oh my gosh, more ways than one right now. Kim will tell you that her most impressive and relevant achievement is that she is an 8-year cancer survivor. I think it's 10 now, isn't it?
It's 10 now. 10
Yes.
plus.
Yeah, 10 plus cancer survivor. In the year of 2014, Kim was diagnosed. She says it really changed her life for the better. Which, who could imagine that, right? That it would change your life for the better.
Absolutely.
Learned on this journey, if you loved life before cancer, don't be afraid to love it after cancer. She often quotes the words from John 10:10, I came that you may have life and have it more abundantly. Kim is a mother and proud grandmother. She loves people. She loves networking. And most of all, she is a Christian and loves God. And so do I. Welcome, Kim. Welcome back to the show. So excited to have you here tonight. Tell everybody a little bit about yourself, a little bit about your background, where you well, we talked a little bit about it, but your family life, do you have brothers or sisters, and where you grew up and where you live now? And then we'll start talking about some of the questions.
Okay. Okay, I am super, super excited to be here, and I'm so glad you have me back. It's an honor
Yes.
here. We always get into our little conversation before we come on. We have to catch up because
Right.
talk. Yeah, we have to catch up. But I am super, super excited. Like I said, yes, I'm a country girl. I grew up in a small town called Mariana. It's
Mhm.
about 40 miles west of Memphis. It takes me about an hour to get home. I went to the I attended the high school in Mariana,
Mhm.
high school, Lee Senior High School, graduated in 1990, went to the University of Arkansas at Pine Bluff. I graduated from there in 1990. I graduated from Lee Senior High. Did I say 85? I'm class of 85. I graduate of UAPB 1990. I'm sorry, y'all. I'm getting a little, the numbers are getting up there. I'm trying to keep up with my grandbaby and all her numbers.
Right.
My son, because them numbers are rolling out on me. And then, every day I deal with children. So, y'all. But anyway, correction was made. Okay, is made. So, let's see. I grew up single parent home, was raised by my aunt and my grandmother. My mother had me when she was, I want to say she was 18, but
Okay.
she had left home to go. She attended the University of Arkansas at Pine Bluff as well, but she attended that college before it merged into a university. It was like AM&N or something like that. She attended that college she attended then. And I was born, I think she was 18 when she was pregnant, either 17 or 18 when she found out she was pregnant. So yes, I'm an only child. I grew up an only child, but I do have some sisters that I actually call my sisters that actually love and treat me like my sisters. So I just thank God for that extended love. And sometimes you don't understand or you don't know why. I grew up an only child. Growing up that way was so lonely. It was so lonely. And God just saw fit, to make this happen for me. And so actually it's my best friend, but it's what, 5, 6 of them. And so it was 4 girls and a boy. And it's just been like that. It's just been that, that love and that embrace. And that, when I'm in need or when something, they're there. They're gonna
Right.
they're checking, and she's here with me and the other ones they're away, but it's just that real. And sometimes I could just cry when I see some of the things that transpire or some of the things that they do. And I just know that they are and they're real love people. And matter of fact, when I grew up, their mom was our family seamstress. She used to make clothes for me when I was like what, 4th grade? Yeah, 4th grade, 5th grade.
Yeah.
So it's like somebody that you've been knowing for a long time. You know what I'm saying? You just been knowing for a long time. But yes, I attended the University of Arkansas, and after graduating from college, I moved to Dallas, Texas. I resided there for 10 years.
Oh, wow.
And I want to say this because I say this to my children all the time. I talk to my children when they first come into middle school because they coming from 5th grade, coming into 6th grade. And I asked them then, I said, do you know what you want to be when you grow up? Now, some children will tell you that at that age that they know what they want or what's in their heart, what they're thinking about. And some of them be like, I don't know. I said, well, let me tell you a story because I actually did the story about 2 weeks ago in a class. I was in a math class because, we change classes throughout the day. And the teacher was talking about it and he gave a scenario of the blueprint from playing ball. Everybody dream of becoming a celebrity ball star, right, or whatever. Right. He said it's only a certain amount. It's a cap off. It's not a whole lot of us can get there. And so after he shared his story, I talked, I asked him, do you mind if I, he said, no, ma'am, come on. You are educated. You're a support teacher. Come on over here. And so I started telling the class how I left. I was shy and timid. I wouldn't speak up. I was always soft spoken. That was the me you see now I was not that girl then.
Me too. Yeah.
So that's why I'm so proud. When I think back and I look at myself, I'm so proud of myself, even though, we're still striving to go to places that we're designed to go, to get to.
Mm-hmm.
I wouldn't speak up, I wouldn't talk, and it held me back. So when I went to school, I didn't have a minor. I just had a major. And it did not resonate with me until I was at the end of the journey to leave school. And I was like, I don't even have. And so with not having a major to fall back on, a minor to fall back on, I only had that one thing. So after I got to Dallas, Texas, I hung around entrepreneurs all the time. I was always going to seminars. I was always networking. I like marketing, and I didn't really understand it. So it was like I was in my mid-20s when I really learned in sales. I didn't even I didn't know nothing about, I didn't even have the idea about selling. And
Right.
one day I walked into this place and this guy told me, he said, who do you work for? And I told him I worked in insurance. He said, you know what? If you ever want to just really, really get out and make some good money, always consider sales. You can make good money in sales. And it was like years and years ago. And so then after moving from Texas, I lived there for 10 years to come back to Memphis. And I got here and I got with my sister. And she had this little thing where she was selling stuff. And we used to buy the stuff from her. So I started taking it to work. Payday was a double payday for me all the time. And it just went from there. So one day I went home and I would, take her money and stuff. And she was like, do you want to make this legit? And I said, yeah. She said, okay, let's go get our license. Okay, what's the name of this? What we gonna call it?
Right.
It just went from there. And so I tell people all the time, it's so important. My little grandbaby, she's 6. She knows how to play the piano. She can play a tune. And we didn't know this until she was just asked, can I play? And we were like, yeah. And we thinking, okay, we finna hear all this loud noise.
Right.
Like that. She started playing. And she likes to dance.
Wow.
She likes the piano. And she is smart. And what else did she tell me? She said, I want to be a cheerleader. And she told me we know she likes piano. And it's something else that she has. It's another thing. So I try to I want her to be able to experience this stuff at a young age. And that way, when she get up, by time, I want her to already know. I already know what you want to do because it's so important. And things are changing. Times are changing.
Yep.
And even the space for the curriculums of school, all of that stuff needs to be upgraded.
Oh, yeah.
Get my drip. It needs to be upgraded.
Right. And just going back to your grandbaby, I had a cousin, still have a cousin. I don't want to say have a cousin. He could play the piano by ear. He at a very young age, since I can only remember. He was like 3, 4 years old. And now he actually has his own band. He keyboard by ear. He just it was just natural. So I wanted to let you know that, because now he has his own band. He goes all over. And it's, very popular, I mean, he's not famous, but it's pretty popular. He goes all over and doing very well with it. Yeah. So that's awesome. Yep.
It's amazing. It is.
And their parents, the same thing. They encourage, I want to say it started with piano, and then they were like, okay, let's get him a keyboard. They did the little keyboard when he was little. And we used to have, we'd go over there for Christmas and holidays, and he'd play, and it was like, whoa, it just blew me away. Yeah. And now to see him, he's older, he's probably in his 30s, and it's just amazing how far he's come.
Yeah.
Just from that little, just play by ear from small baby. I just wanted to add that, and if anybody's listening, encourage your kids, if that's something that the path that they're going down, just support them, because
support them. There you go.
Get older, that might be one of their gifts, and it just might be where they need to go. Maybe they need to play in a church. Maybe they need whatever. We don't know. Maybe they need to be psalmists. Whatever. But yeah, or play with a psalmist. Maybe they need to connect with. I don't know. Who knows where God's gonna take them. But yeah, just when you said that, made me think of my cousin and how far he came with it. It was all by ear. He never read music, nothing. It's all by ear, which is that's just a gift. That's just a gift. Yeah.
But yeah, that's just, and that's in a nutshell. That's my background. Grew up in a small town, and
Hmm.
that was my experience, working. Yeah, I mean, from growing up and going to school, and where I am now. So,
Right, right. Well, thank you for sharing all of that with us. And now we have to pivot a little bit, unfortunately. So let's talk about when you got cancer. How old were you? How did you? Because not everybody has seen the previous shows that you've been on. So for the people that don't know, haven't seen part one, part two, tell tell us the background of when you got cancer. How old were you? How did you discover it? And we'll go from there.
I was in my early 40s. I think, yeah, I was, because I remember, I'm not sure the exact age. I have to count back, but I
Okay.
remember the doctor asked me, that was my the plastic surgeon. She asked me, she said, "Where do you think you'll be 10 years from now? How do you think you'll feel?" And she asked me about that because it was, I was in the early 40s, because I remember when she asked me, I thought about my age then, and I was like, oh,
Mm.
wow. And I told her, I said, you know what? I just want to be well, and I want to be here. And I just want to shine my light on people. I just want to love on people. I just want to, I don't want to have a ill will feeling in my body. I just want to feel good and do great things. We were just talking because she saw my journey and how far I had come, because I was having a issue with deciding which doctor I wanted. I don't know how I got caught up with that, because I had a surgeon. You have to have a breast surgeon. But
Mhm.
then when you decide you want to have a mastectomy, then you have to pick out a plan. And I didn't really understand all of that. I just knew when they gave me the options of, this is your options. This is okay. This is your life expectancy if you were to have a lumpectomy. And that means you go in the breast, you go right in the area, you take out the mass, and you sew it back up. They said, okay, you have this, you choose this option. This option gives you 85% survival rate. Okay, you're talking about my life.
Mhm.
So then they said over here, and I know I'm kind of going, but I'm just going back, piggyback on why I answered her the way I answered her when she asked me the things I was thinking about.
Mhm.
Uh, Over here, this if you choose to have a mastectomy, which means take both breasts off, then we this option gives you a 98% survival rate. And I thought it's a no-brainer.
Mm.
Why I'm here. I chose this is why.
Right.
And so I often think about that question that she asked me that day. She's such a sweet little doctor. She just said, you made, you've come a long way, and you still got a long way to go. And we were just in the stages right then and there. She was she had measured me. You know how they take off the breast doing surgery, and then you go back and you get this, they make this little insert in
Mhm.
your breast to create a space for the implant to go. And you have to wear those extenders. And so I was in our office one day for a checkup, because I don't know, I went between her, it was like I was always at the doctor. I was always at the doctor.
Yeah.
I had to learn to bounce between the surgeon, that surgeon, and then the regular surgeon. It was a lot. It was a lot.
So let's back up a little bit. So you're talking about after you discovered that you had the cancer. How, for the people that haven't seen any of the shows, how did you discover that you had the cancer? And just like give the emotional feelings in that moment, in that time.
So like the first moment of just finding out that I had it.
And how did you know? How did you discover it? What was some of the things that were happening? You like, okay, I got to get this checked out. What happened?
Okay, I actually missed 2 years. I didn't have a mammogram in 2 years. I was running behind.
Okay.
So one day it hit me like, oh, let me call. And I would always call at the beginning of the year. It was something about the beginning of a new year, January. I was just always trying to get appointments in. So I
Mhm.
happened to call. And then they told me, they gave me a date to go in. I went in, I had a mammogram. I didn't really think a lot of it. They said, we'll get back with you, as soon as we get the results, and you're used to getting, you look for a little letter in the mail that tells you you're fine and we'll see you in another year. But that
Right.
was the case with me. I got a phone call saying, we need you to get back in here as soon as possible, that we see something on your mammogram and we need to take another look at it. And I'm going, huh? Really? And
Okay.
I was 2 years behind. And so I went back and got the mammogram. And what they did, not the mammogram, well, a diagnostic mammogram is what I had. And the diagnostic one is the one that's more, I don't know, it's more, you can see it better. It's clear. You know what I'm saying? And
Mm-hmm.
so I had a diagnostic mammogram that day. And so they had this little screen up they had a little screen up because I had to go back from there. They had the screen up on there. And when I looked up on the screen, I walked in and I said, what is that? And she said, those are qualifications. That's what we want to know. And I said, oh, really? And that was on the left breast, because that's where the cancer was, on the left breast.
Mm-hmm.
So then I looked on the screen and I said, on the other screen, I said, well, what's that over there on that breast? I saw these little bitty, tinkly little things around it, like they were just trying to form. But the other breast was full of something. You know what I'm saying? It had more stuff on it. And I'm like, well, what is that over there? And she said, those are qualifications. That's like what's happening over here is starting to happen over there.
Oh, wow.
I said, oh, okay. And so we proceeded, to get, to go through the procedure that day to go back in and, take a deep, look and look more. And that's when they decided that same day that I was going to have to be scheduled to have a biopsy so they could
Right.
get the tissue, take the tissue from there so they can look at the tissue to tell me exactly what it was. So.
Right. So yeah, so my mom went through something similar too. They did the biopsy, they did the mammogram. I don't think hers was diagnostic. It was back in 1990. They did, but she said hers was like a little, I mean, it was just a speck on her breast.
Wow.
And they did the lumpectomy right after that. And then she had the mastectomy after that. So back then, things were a little bit more like they barely even talked about having reconstructive surgery, or they might have talked about it, but it wasn't very common. So she
Yeah.
didn't have any of that.
Yeah.
I mean, it might have been talked about, but it was not, most people just, that was it. They did the like fake implants, I guess you could say. She had the fake ones you put in your bra. Those little, they were heavy. There was like I don't know, some kind of a gel in that, and you put it in your bra. So they had the fake ones back then. So that's what she opted for. And then a few years later, she had another mastectomy. I don't know if it was 8 years later, 8 or 10, something like that. But yeah, it was in the other breast. So I just wanted the people, because there are so many different ways that it is detected. Did you have any symptoms health-wise? Feeling tired, anything, or nothing at all? Nothing?
I don't recall having anything at all because when I called in, I mean, I was upbeat. I was just still doing me, and I knew that the only thing I kept, it just stayed on me. You missed 2 years, you can't keep missing. I was like, and I just grabbed the phone because, like I said, every year at the beginning of the year, I started trying to get everything. I started trying to schedule it out. Let's get that done, and that's what happened.
Wow. Okay. So thank you for sharing that. Like I said, because there's so many, I've had a few people on here that have talked about breast cancer, and there's so many ways to detect it and so many different things that can happen that I never even heard of before. So like I said, please go back and watch the replays, because some of those stories are just incredible. Like, what, I think one person, the breast was bleeding and that was breast cancer, if I'm not mistaken. So there are so many different ways. So I wanted people to know, how did you discover it? And then of course share my own story with my mom. There's just so many different ways and different types and what can happen, so thank you for sharing that. So after you discovered it, then you met the plastic surgeon and then started to just figure things out from there, plan it out. Yeah.
I did, but I will share this with you because I don't know if I shared it with you before,
Hmm.
but we had, after I had been diagnosed, and we set up this meeting and we go to meet the surgeon. We sit around this long conference table and you take like your family, whoever you choose to take, and they really get into a detail of what type of cancer you have and what you need to do, what they recommend. So during that session that day, because my sister went and my mom went, and one of my friends, well, she's a survivor, this lady I know really well, Miss Mr. Well, actually, it was two people told me that. They said take a family member with you. Don't go it alone,
Mm,
and because you're not gonna remember all of that. It's too much already to try to wrap around your mind what's
right.
actually happening to you now. So you need to make sure that you have somebody with you. And so we were trying to figure out, well, what would be a good way to do it? Because my mama was like, well, I'm already exhausted just knowing it right now, and I'm still trying to get it. And my sister said, well,
Right.
I can't remember. So we recorded it. We took my phone, we turned the phone recorder on and set the phone on the table and recorded the conversation. It was a long, drawn out meeting. And I remember in the meeting, I told the doctor about what happened to me in 1980s. I want to say it was 87 and 88, or either it was 86 and 87, because it was a back-to-back thing. I was really, really young, and my son was small. He was really small. And I noticed that I would have this leaky, bloody discharge in my breast, was coming from this breast, the left breast.
Oh, wow.
And I didn't understand what it was, but when I had the discharge, I didn't have a cycle. So I went to this doctor in Dallas, Texas. It was at Baylor Hospital. His name was, I think it was at Baylor, but his name was Dr. Prescott. I will never forget him. He was such a cool doctor. I really liked him. He said, "You're so young." He said, "It's some type of hormonal imbalance." At that time, they didn't say anything about cancer. They said nothing about cancer. That's why, and I was so young. He was like, "I don't want to take the right away from you to have the option to breastfeed. You're so young. You have one little son, and you may want to have another child. You may get married. We don't know. You may get married again. We don't want. And so I'm like, okay. So at that time, I mean, me being so young, not really understanding, and I was away from my family. So I actually went through this alone because I didn't think it was that serious.
Hmm.
And so we did the little surgery, little outpatient surgery, where he went in and he closed up one milk duct. He only closed up the milk duct that was that he saw was constantly having this I was constantly having this discharge from every month.
Mm.
So I had the surgery, it went well, went home. About 2 months went by. Bam, it started doing it again.
Oh, wow.
So I went back. If I'm not mistaken, it was 2 months. It wasn't that long. I know it started back. I didn't have it for a minute, then I started back having it. And so he said, okay, well, we're gonna have to think of something else. It may have been a little longer than that, but I just know that it came back. It's been so many moons back. So
Right.
and so the next time he said, well, I tell you what I'm going to do, and I don't want to do this, but I don't think I have a choice. He said, I'm going to close up all the milk ducts in that breast. So that means you'll never be able to breastfeed from that breast. And so I told the surgeon about it. You know what she said? She said, bingo, that was your sign right there. That was the
Wow.
first sign of breast cancer. Do you know I did not know that? All those years, I had no clue. I did not know that. She
Well,
said
what?
that was the first sign. And
Yeah.
I'm kind of like, well, why didn't they tell me that? I don't know, but that was the sign. She said that was the sign.
And that's why I wanted to bring it up, because what we're all taught is to look for the lump. That's the only thing I think they might have said something at some point any abnormal discharge, I think. But for the most part, I remember in school, breast cancer started to get more prevalent, more talked about. They really talked more about the lump. Look for the lump or a lump or lumps, you know what I mean? But it wasn't talked about that much as an abnormal discharge. So I think that needs to be brought to the forefront that, people need to think about that. Yeah.
Exactly. And I'll add this because I've never discussed it in any interview that I've ever done. I also now I hadn't even got over to the side of having breast cancer. At this time, I was here living in Memphis,
Mm-hmm.
kind of getting familiar with the city, and I was already working and everything. So I went to, and it was probably like maybe a year or less when this happened, right prior to me having breast cancer. So there was another sign. Now that we're talking about this, I do need to make people aware of this in my interviews from here on out. That there was a lady got up, and it was a little event, and it was doing breast cancer that year. I think it was coming up to breast cancer month, and they had a little event or something. But anyway, I was there because I think I had my boutique stuff. I was set up there that day. They was doing all kinds of stuff, we were just having a good time. And it was a lady got up and she talked about her journey, and she was saying that she was a survivor, and she said her symptom was that when she had this heaviness in her breast, it was just they would be real, feel like they weighed a ton. And when she said it, I looked at this other lady next to me and I said, I've been having the same thing. And the lady, and because she kept trying to console me that day. And before we left, she said, don't worry about it. I said, I'm not. I said, but I have that same symptom in the tub. A lot of times my breasts, I can be sitting down and they just feel like they just like a ton of bricks. I'm like, what's that? But
Wow.
said that was the only sign that she had, and she went to the doctor and that's what she had. Then that let me know then that was a whole nother sign, and I didn't know what it was.
Wow. I've never heard that one.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Heavy, and feel like they just weigh a ton. It don't stay like that, but it's like, and it lasts for a minute or so, and you be like, what was that? Why did my breast feel like that? That was another sign I had. And I know what that was. I had no clue what that was.
Mm-hmm. Wow, that's incredible. Thank you for sharing that, because that's, like I said, I've had a few people on the show, and they told their stories, but I don't think we've mentioned something like that. Not that I can remember. So wow, that's amazing. Yeah. So after you went to the plastic surgeon, you did some sort of extensions? Is that what you did?
Well, yeah, they were preparing me to wear implants, and you have to wear those extensions for quite a while. I think it was 6 weeks, but I ended up having them for 8 weeks. And then they go in and they take the extenders out because, I've had the surgery, we've done all of that, but they go in and they take the extenders out because you got to give your body time to heal,
Right.
And then when the implants are actually made, they insert the implant, take the extenders out. It's kind of like, it's whatever this little stuff is, it has something in it, and it sets up. It gets that little layer of skin under there. It forms that skin to be able to hold the implant.
Okay.
Yeah, to hold the implant. The only thing I regretted was we actually measured everything out so perfect. And my surgeon forgot. We both forgot because after I, came through all of that and went through wearing those drains and all of that, got all of that taken off and got the, implants in. We was looking at me in the mirror and we realized that one breast was smaller than the other one. And I was
Oh, no.
what happened? And she said, oh my God. But this lady was the sweetest doctor. When I tell you, she's just a sweetheart. We forgot the breast that I had the cancer on. when I came out of surgery, I had 3 surgeries. That whole side of that breast the skin had burned really, really bad. It was black. So that skin was not going to heal. So I had to go back to surgery 2 weeks after the regular surgery to take that skin off. So that means I lost that skin that we had calculated in those measurements. And I looked at my breast, I looked at her, I looked around the room, and I said, I am fine. I promise you, I am fine. You don't even have to, the first thing they think, oh God, you don't go there. We've been on this journey together, and I just wasn't, it wasn't important. I was gonna even get the nipples, and she was gonna send me to, she said, I'm gonna have to send you to Louisiana. I don't know, I'm not going nowhere else. I've had 3 surgeries, I'm tired, I'm not going to nowhere. I'm not even worried about a nipple. So I didn't even worry about it. And they were gonna do the tattooed nipple. I'm like, no, 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 no. I'm here. And do you know I have not had any problems at all? It don't even faze me anymore. I'm happy.
Good. Wow.
Yeah, I'm happy.
Yeah, and I'm sure it's over time it probably changed sizes anyway. So
it does, because it has, even from then to there, from back then to now, it has really changed. It's changed sizes. It has emerged, or whatever it's gonna do under there. It's doing what it's doing.
Right. Oh my goodness. Wow. Thank you for sharing that. My goodness. Wow.
I forgot that too. So for the people that have seen my interviews and you watch this interview, you're gonna get a whole lot of new stuff.
That's good. Yeah. Holy Spirit's leading the way. He's telling people what things we just, maybe never thought about.
Yeah.
Yeah. And there's people out there listening that need to hear it, maybe they need some help coping with all this,
Oh.
Yeah, absolutely. So tell us so after you had the surgery and all of that, now you knew you had to change your ways. What changes? I mean, we know you changed your diet, but besides that, like what else did you change? Your prayer life, what else changed?
I did. Most definitely changed my prayer life, and most definitely made me aware of how important life itself is. It's not about the kind of car you drive, the kind of house you live in, the type of job you have, the type of clothes or the handbags or all the stuff that does not make you who you are. It's not about any of those things. It just made me see those little things that when you're younger, I was so much younger prior to that stage of my life. I was very much mature, and I had grown a whole lot prior to having cancer, but it just really made me flourish into this beautiful, beautiful blossoming butterfly. That's me. And I just felt like I don't want to do nothing but just love on people. That's it. I just want to love on people. But it just, okay, come on, give me that question again. I get excited and I go, what am I touching on? I'm supposed to be expounding on that how did it change me? And it did. It changed me. Oh my God. It's for the better. It is. I could just run and just shout, and I could just jump up and because it's just that good when it comes to God. It's just that good. And to know that I'm still here, it means so much to me. And the journey that I'm on, and the things that I had to endure to get to this point was not easy. And people that look at me and they say, yes, I changed my lifestyle. Now, I'm not an advocate exerciser, but what I do is I try to get it in during the day while I'm at work. I walk all day long. I do not sit in a desk all day. And I'm so thankful for that. I wouldn't have it no other way. I move around all day long. And instead of me getting on the elevator at work, I walk up the steps. I go to the second floor and I take the step. Each and every day, all through the day, I'm up and down the steps. Okay, that's my exercise. Okay, a lot of times after lunch, we take the kids outside. We walk around the building. Sometimes when I want to get out myself, I take my down 15, give me 15, 10 minutes. I'm out there, I walk around. Most of the time, I'm in tennis shoes, I'm in sweats, I'm in khaki pants, school shirts. We down. Everything with COVID got everybody just more relaxed. And we're getting to teach on. We're doing what we got to do. to do what we supposed to do every day. And that's just me. I don't always, but I stay moving around. I make sure that my body is moving every day. I
Yeah.
would not do anything different. Yes, I did change my diet. Yes, and I know I had to change my life by doing some type of exercise. Not to say there's not room for improvement. There is a lot of room for improvement. I am going to, up. I got to step my game up on that a little bit more. I got to step it up because I see some things going on with my body and my stuff. When you get older, you start losing stuff.
Right.
Got to get yourself together to get it
Right.
up, get it back together. But most definitely a lot of things changed. But yeah, that was one of the things. And to be honest with you, my first oncologist, I had two, because the first one, he left after about a year or two after he moved away. But he called me because I have a different story that I don't always share it openly, but I do have a different story. He called me on my phone one day, and he said, I feel responsible for you. He said, I just need you to tell me one thing. Promise me you gotta find you a diet. What are you gonna do? You need to be on a diet. What type of diet? You need to pick out a diet. You need to exercise. He said, it's something about walking. You need to walk as much as possible. He said, I don't know what it is about walking, but it does keep it down. He is. And I just admire him so much for that. He called me, he talked to me. And my current oncologist looked at me about, I guess it's about 4 years ago, maybe 5. And he said, I don't know what it is that you're doing. He said, I don't know what it is that you're doing, because you're doing a lot of other things that you may not say, but I can see it. He said, because I got a patient right now. She was 29 years old and she had 5 children, and she was dying of terminal cancer.
Oh my goodness. Wow.
He said, I know you're doing. I know you're doing. And I just want to applaud you to keep on doing what you're doing.
Yep. Yeah, that kind of leads me to why I started a group. It's a virtual walking club. I talked about it before in other shows and with you. And what I want people to do is not just walk for your health, but pray, walk and pray. We need that more now than ever. You need to pray over your region, your town, your city, your land, yourself, your neighbors, your friends, whatever God leads you to pray for.
Everything.
And it's going to help your health. But right now, more than ever, we need instructions from him. And if you walk, you'll get instructions from him. And just, pray for, maybe you have sick friends, whatever God leads you to pray for. But I put this group together, and I give prizes away, and, just, it's all in fun. And, because we need that more now than ever. There's just so much going on. We need to pray. There's illnesses coming down the line. There's famine coming down the line. There's war. There's, so much financial issues. So
There is. It's a lot.
We need to be healthy. We need to be strong. The other part of that is, I feel like you were saying, we can do more, and I can do more. I'm gonna say that. I feel like Holy Spirit he wants us to be stronger, because we don't know what's coming down the line tomorrow. We see it every day. Even let's take the school shooting that just happened in Georgia. I saw those parents. They had to walk a couple of miles to get to their kids. I don't know if it was a mile or 2 miles, but they had, from wherever they were, they had to walk or run to get to their kids, the staging area. I heard one woman, like, she was huffing and puffing, trying to make the video, things like that. We don't know what's coming down the lane. We need to be strong. What if something hits tomorrow? It could be bad weather. It could be a hurricane. It could be a tornado. It could be, I hate to say it, but what if we get bombed? Whatever. We need to be strong. We need to be able to walk for a few miles. We need to be able to lift things. What if we have to lift water or food to help other people? God is using us as the Josephs. We've got to be able to be strong. If you can't run, walk. Start doing it now, because I hear it every day. I was telling you earlier, there's all these people that are disabled and elderly that I answer phones for grocery stores. I can hear it when they call. They're just so disabled. What are they going to do if something hits tomorrow? A tornado, a hurricane, flooding. They're talking about tsunamis coming on the East Coast and West Coast. It may come. You've got to be able to move. So I did this virtual walking club. It's called Order My Steps after Psalm 119, 133. It's on Facebook. I may extend it even further and do like a school group out of it's SKOOL and just have a little bit more with it, recipes and things like that. It'll be a membership. But right now it's just on Facebook. It's small. It's just getting started. Of course, we all kind of been putting it on the back burner because summer is wicked hot.
Yeah.
You can find other places to walk, but it's hard for some people. I don't have a car at the moment, so I've done other things. I go swim.
Yeah.
I love to swim. But so we'll get started again on that. You know, it's getting cooler. I'm hoping to get some walking in this weekend. I just wanted to add that it's so good for your health. You're getting the vitamin D from the sun. That's going to boost your immune system. You just in your feeling better. You feel more energized. So walking is just so helpful for things like cancer. And like I said, if you can't find any other time to pray, we'll kill two birds with one stone. Now you can walk, do it for your health, and pray. So, and I pray, praise, and worship. I put on worship music. I do all of it when I walk. So I just wanted to add that. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's so important. But you are right. I've been meditating and thinking about the things that you just said, and I pray because for one reason, I know I need to, but I know I have to because I know in the time we're in now, we can't afford not to.
Right.
We not afford. I don't know if who's still asleep. I'm not asleep. When I say what everything you just said,
yeah,
it's everything that is on my mind. And the only thing that I don't have that I'm going to go online and purchase, I need that emergency kit. They say you can get it on Amazon, but they say if you go to the fire department, I think they're a lot higher there.
Mm.
But I was going to go ahead and order that emergency kit because I said, okay, what if I need to swim?
Yeah.
I need something, you know what I'm saying? Because it's supposed to have everything in it that you would need. It's even got a rope, it's got everything. Because we don't know. We know where we've been, but we don't know where we're going.
We don't know what can happen.
We don't know.
The weather alone is different. Look at out west. Some of these poor people, I mean, I can't even imagine, you know, it's like, think about like Friday, right? You come home from work, you're like, I just want to chill out. It's the weekend, and a tornado hits. You don't even have a home now. And you just got home. You know what I mean? Like, can you even imagine? So, like, at least if we are strengthened, because not even just for yourself, you might have to help other people. I saw it in Hawaii. You know, they were helping people with water, and they had to walk for a while. They had to, you know, to get to different areas. You don't want to be decrepit. You don't want to be, I can't move. You know what I mean? You want to be able to walk even for a mile. If you can't run, walk. Just start doing it. Start strengthening yourself. Get some of those rubber band things. If you can't, you know, you can't go to a gym. Well, I can't either. So, you know, you could use cans of beans.
That's true.
Working out and just start strengthening yourself. Don't be decrepit and sitting at home all day watching videos and social media, and start strengthening yourself. We don't know what's coming down the line. We've got to be strong for each other. So I just wanted to add that. And like I said, I can do more too. You know, I need to work out a little bit more. You know, I'm definitely going to get walking again. It's cooling down, thankfully. Oh, it's been so hot. It's so hard to walk when it's hot. You know, I mean, if you're lucky enough and you can go other places when it's hot, then that's great. You can go to a hospital, you can go to a grocery store, you can go, you know, whatever, inside places, malls, you know, but like I said, I don't have a car, so it's a little bit harder for me. I use the outdoors. So but whatever you can do, just, and like I said, I traded swimming for walking. So I didn't stop doing anything. I just swam instead.
Maybe, yeah.
So, yeah. So talk a little bit about and we have, I don't know, maybe about 10 minutes left. Talk a little bit about your dietary changes in nutrition and what you've learned about that. And then we'll talk about if you have books or anything else that can encourage people.
Okay. So we all know that I juice. I still juice. I juice to even get well when I was healing from cancer. And a lot of times now they got these, they have these cell phone, these little small places you can hop in and get you, a real good juice when you're in a hurry and don't have time.
Right.
It's a juicer that I had. I don't like it anymore. So it's one of these great big ones. But I want my dream. I say my dream because I hadn't been able to get it right now. But I really wanted the J2. I think it runs about 5, maybe 600. But they got another one out. I think it's run by $700 some dollars. I saw it and I was just like, okay, I'm gonna get it. But I'm just trying to decide on what I really, really want. Because one thing about those juices, they are really, really high powered. They're really good. And it's just that serious. You just throw it in there and it's going to dispense it. It's going to separate all the stuff. It don't get no better.
Right.
And you're going to get like this flowing amount of juice coming out of the, fruits and the vegetables. Whereas I had a second juicer and I didn't like that one. It take me too long to juice one thing. So yeah, I like juicing. I started out for the first 5 years. I was vegetarian pretty much, but I still ate. I ate some chicken because when I sat down and talked to the doctor, he just was telling me, he said, you can choose to add meat or you can take it all the way out. I'm just going to kind of get you going and kind of give you some things and ideas. But when I was healing, the way I had to heal in the end, I couldn't even have meat, period. So it wasn't hard for me to do it because I had like this green salad with maybe peppers and stuff on it. No meat, no cheese, none of that other stuff in a little balsamic dressing. That was it. That's all I could have. And then I would juice like 4 times a day. And so it wasn't like I hadn't been exposed, is what I'm trying to say. Yeah, I hadn't been exposed to it. And so mainly I just had I would eat a lot of vegetables. But here lately, I kind of switched over about a year or so ago. I had a girlfriend that was doing a blood type. And she said her whole right hand had so much inflammation, it was swell up. There was something going on with that hand and that little side of her. And she said she had gained weight. And she said she stayed in so much pain at night. She was in excruciating pain in the bed, and it was just throb and throb. And so she found out about blood type. And so when she started talking to me about it, I was like, wait a minute. So I had gone over her house one day and she had fixed she had baked some sweet potatoes. She had some collard greens and she had some codfish. And all she did was put some oil in a skillet and seasoned it really good and seared it over and flip, and it was so delicious.
Yeah.
And I said, okay. So then we started talking and I said, because she's a retired nurse, but she has her own business. She does anything with health and wellness. That's her. And so she was like, I just implemented this into what I do every day. I said, well, you should. And so she was talking. She said, well, you can just get your blood type. And I said, it used to be on my driver's license, but it's not on there anymore. She said, well, you can get a blood test from Amazon. I think it was like $8 or $12 anyway. So blood test. Went over there one day and she pricked me and did the little test. And it's a little scale on that. It tells you if the little blood look a certain way. If it's B, A, whatever. So we ended up having the same blood type. So it made it real easy for me. So she started sending me like the foods that I'm supposed to have.
Right.
In my blood type. And I'm going to tell you what, I love cabbage. I shop on the outskirts of the store. I've always done it. I've been doing it for over 10 years, so I don't know nothing else to do. I'll go down the aisles, but I'll dot in and out because the stuff down the aisles is so unhealthy for. And I'm going to tell you what I do. I'm an advocate. I've been doing it so long. I don't know no other way to do this. Everything I pick up in the store, I'm like, I got specs.
I know,
I'm
right?
reading the labels. If
Yep.
the labels is like this or that, I put it back on the shelf. I'm serious. I know what is all of that, and you can even get a sandwich now that have that much stuff. It's what's all of that? It's in
Right.
what y'all do to the meat.
Right. Yeah.
So I've been doing it for so long. So this is what I did. I started doing blood type. So like my blood type juice I can have is prune juice and pineapple juice. So you're gonna mainly, if you look at my refrigerator, I'm gonna always have that. I ain't like I wasn't happy with either one of those as far as if that would have been my choice. No, that's not something I would choose, but I've learned to like it. I learned
Right.
to embrace it. I like prunes. I love to eat them, but the juice, but anyway, so that and then my spring water or alkaline water I drink. I basically will fix a salad. I'm superb at fixing salad. I even sell them. Some of my coworkers buy me work. Girls, so I came out the restaurant. No, it looked better than that. I'm not bragging, but that's just for real.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
so I put, I can put the grilled chicken on it. I can I can just do a plain salad.
Yeah.
But once I started talking to her, I changed over. I changed over to, and I had to sit there and think about it. It made a lot of sense. So I like cabbage, right? I'm an advocate of cabbage. Cabbage is it's not good for my blood. So I stopped eating. I have not had cabbage in over a year. I don't eat it. I don't buy it. I can have collard greens, yay. I love collard greens. So I was like, I can have sweet potato, yeah. So the things that I could have. But then there's this lady that she's on TikTok and she talks all about the blood type. She used to be a big time lady in TLC. I don't know if you ever heard of TLC, but it's called it means total life changing. That's what it's total life changing.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
So they have all these superb things that you can take for your body and your health and wellness. And so I think what it was, she probably was high in the company because she has these 2 big dome rings that she wore. They said those were the rings that she earned for being a marketer or something for that company years ago. But I don't know if she probably don't even do that anymore. She talks about the blood type.
Okay.
Her own site, coming out. She was telling me, she was talking to us on there. So every once in a while, I try to catch her and I watch her. She could tell you about the blood types with her eyes like that nothing. She know it like this. Now my tea, I love herbal tea, but my tea that I'm supposed to drink is green tea. That's all I'm supposed to sip on is green tea. I was like, well, I like the one with this and that, because I drink the healthy tea. So I have my moment where I can I play and have a little fun. I just don't stay there. You know what I'm saying? We just don't stay there. We might say we're going to eat a piece of cake today. We just don't stay there. So basically, my vegetables, I know what they are. I go look at the sheet. If I want to go try something different, I just pull it up. It's on, you can get it off of, it's on Amazon, it's online. You can Google it and it'll come up and tell you what foods are for your blood type. But this is what's gonna trip you out. All the things that I was eating that I loved was not good for my blood type. And I said, okay, God, this is making so much sense to me. It could be ever so healthy because I like cabbage, but cabbage wasn't in the deal. Okay, I love catfish. I don't even eat it. I haven't had catfish in over a year.
Wow.
I think I ate one time, probably about 8 months ago. I had some because my girlfriend said one day, she said, I didn't have none for a long time. And then one time we had something, she said, I ate some. And then I found out the catfish eat everything in the water. So I'm like,
oh yeah, they're scroungers. Yeah.
I think it's here. If we get it up here, we get it up here. Now I'm gonna say something else to you that makes sense, and I'm not saying it to be ugly. I'm not bragging. It's a fact. And God knows every day, being a cancer survivor, you always have that thought or your fear in your mind of it ever coming back. And we know there are some 2-time, 3-time, 4-time, 5-time survivors. Going on 11 years. I was the first person in my family to have cancer. Cancer doesn't run in my family. My mother was diagnosed with cancer about 5 years or so after I had her, or 6. My mother is now a 2-time cancer survivor.
Oh, wow. Amen to that. Wow.
She likes to eat what she likes to eat. You're going to have to cut it out. And she looked at me. Kim, but now she's really getting it. She's a 2-time cancer survivor. So what she did was I just kind of let her be free. I didn't want to pressure her because they didn't pressure me. They was like, if this is what you're doing, we're gonna support you. If you want to do that, we're gonna support you. We're not gonna tell you don't do this, don't do that. They didn't do me like that. She didn't want to take the first time she had a lumpectomy. That means they went in, took the little mass out, and boom. This last time was 2 years ago, 2.5 years ago. She said, I don't want to take chemo, Kim. I don't want to go through it. I don't want to see it. I don't want to do it. I said, okay, so what do you want to do? They told her that they would give her this pill. And you know, when they give you a pill, we already know it's a chemo pill. You know, it's this chemo pill. They got to find a form of way to get you to do what they need you to do. So this, right. So she's been taking the pill, and so far she's been doing okay.
Awesome.
Good. Good.
Well, we only have about a minute or two left, so tell everybody if you have any books available, anything available, and how people can reach you.
Okay, you can reach me on my page. Kim Broadway is my main page, and I started being on that page a lot more because I have a lot more followers over there. You can also reach me on Lachey's Lifestyle Boutique. That's over there. That's the business page. And then there's a Lachey's Lifestyle 2, which I just implemented some months ago. And then I have a group page called Beautiful Boutique Babes. But if you come to Kim Broadway, you got me all day long. This is my book. It's called Embracing Life More Abundantly After Cancer. This book was first published, I want to say, in 2017 or 2018. And there was an error on my book that I was not happy about. And I'm not saying it in an ugly way, but I wanted to make sure that it was right because it's my portfolio. And I wanted my portfolio to be, I needed to be what it needed to be. So I went back, I think it was 21 or 22. And my publisher, she's so sweet. I just love her. Melinda, I love you so much, girl. But we republished this book, and I added a couple of chapters, and it says, Embracing Life More Abundantly After Cancer. Living in my pink. Y'all, I'm living in my pink. Y'all see me with my pink on? I'm living in my pink. I did not like pink until I started to do a little research on a little things about pink. And so now I'm living in my pink. So you can find this book on Amazon. I will have the links on my pages all running all along for the month of October. I sell pink pearls in honor of my journey, and my customers all know why the pink pearls got started. I also have this workbook that's called Poised in Pink. This is a good little journal. If anybody know anybody that's going through cancer, that's having a hard time, or whether they're having a breeze or a hard time, because some people have their journeys are different. But this is a good book to journal in, or make it. You can it makes a wonderful gift. You can gift it to someone. I also have the breast cancer mugs.
Oh, nice. Love it.
And I'll have all this stuff uploaded on my site and on our pages this year. I will. I'll have it this year. This is just this one is our culture for our people. It's just kind of like a Black History one, pretty much. But I just like about it. But this is what I'm implementing this year. This is a pillowcase. And I'm actually going to have the pillows you can purchase with or without the pillows. But it actually says, Sisters Don't Let Sisters Fight Cancer Alone. This is so pretty. This is something that I will put in my house in a special room. And this would be something that I wouldn't sleep on or lay on. This would just be a nice keepsake. It would be part of my, my decoration or my whatever.
Yeah, I love that. Yeah, that's awesome.
Yes.
Well, this has been amazing. Another amazing broadcast with you. And thank you for being on. Thank you for being here again. October is Breast Cancer Awareness Month. For those of you who don't know, you should know by now, but just keep that in mind. And I just want to let everybody know we are looking for guests for the show. So please reach out to me at info@enrichyourhealth.com with a UR. So it's ENRICHURHALTH.com. You can get me on Facebook Messenger, Instagram Messenger, You can text me 508-330-9665 and I'll get back to you because I work during the day. But last but not least, if you are looking for recipes, I'm your girl. I dealt with multiple food allergies. I like to make them simple. I like to make them, you know, of course, I can do all of it, you know, gluten-free, dairy-free, nut-free, you know, whatever you need. I can customize them for you. So I'm looking for practitioners to partner with that might have clients or patients that need recipes. So, or if it's just you, it doesn't matter. Holidays are coming up. Let me just tell you, that was my worst time trying to figure out what the heck I can eat for the holidays. So start now, start getting some recipes for yourself, for your friends, whatever. I'm hoping to even have some printed. So that would be awesome. So I have digital ones right now, but I'm gonna have some printed books as well, ebooks. So yeah, get them for your friends and family and people that all you ever hear is, I don't know what to eat.
And that'll make nice gifts too.
Right.
Literally, yeah.
So I'm looking forward to doing that and having that available. And last but not least, I do offer business funding along with some other business resources. So follow me on social media and you'll see all that I have to offer. Thank you everyone again. And once again, just to remind you, we are going to do once a month now, and it's the second Sunday of the month at 7 p.m. Eastern time. So thank you everybody for watching. Thank you for watching the replay. Thank you again, Kim, for being on again. You share so much awesome wisdom and knowledge about breast cancer that there's always something new. And we're so thankful for you. So have a great week, everybody. Bye-bye.
Bye.